Hello, 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 Mr. T-Med, Roger Dement. What's going on, my friends? Come on in the cabin with us. Come on in the cabin. Just a tip. Need to set this up where I can see it a little easier. Oh, I hope everybody's having a blessed day. Mr. Big Nasty's in the house. Catawba Backwoods, I appreciate every one of you coming in. Size matters. Loud and clear. Is the broadcast looking good, everybody, after the lightning strike we had? Mr. Trey Hodge, appreciate y'all coming in tonight. So how's the picture and the audio and everything, guys? Twerking monkeys in the house. Mr. Proctor, I just sent you a link, buddy. Does everything look good, guys? Sounds good? Clearer than ever? Good, 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 good. Maybe I done something right. Maybe we done something right, got her straightened out. Roger Shook. Guys, let's start this out right. We're saying God bless America. God bless each and every one of y'all. I hope you've been doing good. Scotty Hill's in the house. What's up, Mr. Hill? Appreciate each and every one of you coming in the house tonight or in the cabin with us. Got a little bit of stuff to discuss with you right quick before Mr. Proctor jumps in here with us. I sent you a link, Junior, so you can pop up anytime you want. But I just want to discuss a little bit of stuff with you tonight. One thing is, somebody please throw me another subscriber on my way. My subscriber list is 666, and I don't like that number, so somebody throw me an extra subscriber in there tonight so I can get to that 667. I don't like that number hanging around me. Yes, yes, yes. We got a lot of catfishers in the house with us tonight. Catawba Backwoods is the only one that sent me anything to put in that catfish's mouth. Kentucky's in the house. Oh, Top Tactics in the house. Thank you for coming in there, buddy. I appreciate you coming in. I hadn't got a chance to watch your new video you just put out, but we will check it out. Probably be tomorrow. I've been working my tail off today, so I'll probably be crashing right after this show. Stubbs is in the house. Stubbs Fishing. What's going on? Irvin's in the house. What's going on, Irvin? Hadn't seen you in a while, buddy. Oh, haven't seen you in a while. The pole shed is going up this weekend. I got some help. Richard Werskow, Justin, my buddy Justin Wampus Cat's going to be coming over, and quite a few other friends. I've got all my poles reset, so we'll be putting the roof on this rascal, and hopefully I can slow down and get back to fishing. Big Nasty's on his new channel. Jerry, what's going on, buddy? Appreciate you coming into place. James Dockery. Joe Buck. We getting a crowd in here tonight. Y'all guys kick up the numbers. What I want to discuss a little bit before we really get started with the show is I'm going to revamp the prize wheel. Andy Pitts is in the house. Appreciate it. Country Girl Frisch, and what's going on, Tiff? Appreciate you coming in here tonight, girl. The pro bass fishing lady right there herself. Mr. Melhorn's in the house. Mr. Melhorn, they are a lady in here tonight. Tiffany's in here watching us. She done went pro on us. Yeah, he's a Big Nasty's cooking restaurant reviews with Big Nasty, Dieter. So he'll be checking out all the restaurants, telling us where the good food is and the slack food is. But what I want to do is I need everybody that's on here right now. Congratulations, Tiffany. Congratulations. everybody that has won off the prize wheel, if you don't mind, for some reason I have lost my 15,000 little bitty notes that I took on who has won. I want to compound a list of everybody that's won on there, and please send me a text or a message. Catfish Bill's in the house, and let me know who won and who you won from. If you don't mind, I want to put all that together. And if anybody wants to join the prize wheel, please let me know. And if anybody on here that wants to get off of the prize wheel, let me know that also. There's no big, I'm not pushing anybody to jump on or jump off. It's not, this is something that's just fun that we like to do. I hope that each and every one of you has enjoyed it and got some good stuff. George Cunningham's in the house. What's going on, George? Good evening to you, buddy. I hope everybody's enjoyed it. I've enjoyed doing it. I've enjoyed making the my Patriot bobbers for you. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I did have to step up and make them a little bit more hardy. Kentucky Catman was throwing 500 pounds of weight on them, expecting them to float. What's up, Hagen? Appreciate you coming in, buddy. Okay, I'll send you that link again. I thought I sent it to you, but I'll send it again. Excuse me, guys. Let me send a link right quick to Junior Proctor. Blue tick, subject is link. Excuse me 1 second, guys. Paste, boom. Send. All right, Junior, it's on its way, buddy. It is on its way to you. This. All right. So if you do want to jump on the prize wheel, I would appreciate it. If you don't, that's also cool too. I don't want to pressure nobody. Mr. Glenn is in the house. Also, the Catfish mailbox. A couple of weeks ago, I got 3 hats in the mail from Catawba Backwoods. Him and his wife, or him and his fiance, got contacted with me. Lyle's in the house. Hey, Lyle. And wanted to send me some hats, some to give away in chat, and one for myself. I like it. It's the red, white, and blue. I love it. But C-Rod's in the house. Appreciate you coming in there, buddy. So the thing with the Catfish mailbox is that I want to, if you want to send a hat, a sticker, a shirt, whatever you choose to send my way, it goes in the mailbox, and I will pull an item out once a week for the show to do a giveaway. And that week, if your name or your hat or your shirt or your sticker or whatever you choose to send for the mailbox gets pulled, basically that show is like a shout out for you. I kind of promote your channel and appreciate what you do for not just me, but for our friends and family on the show. So with that being said, let's kick it off. And Mr. Junior's not showing up. Now, we just done a thing a little while ago, a test run. I hope he's got it. Junior, did you get to? Hold on, let me make sure I was typing in the right email. I hope I got it. He's not showing up. We just done a test run 45 minutes ago. But anyway, he'll come in here in a second. He might have had to get him something to drink or visit the toilet, the potty. Guys, I don't know what. I know some people use slime line. Some people use mono. Some people use braid. I choose to use mono. I got me this big spool of Andy. What's up, Brian? Dana McGill. Got a lot of people in here. I'm going with 30-pound Andy on my reels. I've got it on one reel. I like it. So I'm going to try it out. You don't mind everybody going there and hit that thumbs up. We got 32 people and 12 likes. Appreciate that, C-Rod. Appreciate that a lot, buddy. I don't know where's Junior at. Junior. What's up, Chunky Cats? I don't know what's happened. Come on, Chunky Cats. I mean, not Chunky Cats. Junior. Let me try this link a different way. Excuse me, guys. I don't know what happened to him. Junior, if you in here, give me a holler, buddy. Let me know what's going on. Anyway, as I mentioned at the first of the show, guys, please help me out. I'm at 666 on my subscriber list. Somebody throw me one extra subscriber, please. I need to get them numbers out of here. You just turned 30. You ain't even hit your prime yet. Keep it kicking, 30. Happy birthday to you. There's Mr. Proctor.
Finally. I had to put it in 2 or 3 times. Finally, it took it.
Well, I sent it the old way to you instead of through the email like we did a few minutes ago. And I guess it went through that way.
Yeah, I went to the old one, the first one you sent.
Oh, okay. That'll work. Dieter said I'm at 668 now. Well, thank you, Dieter. I got rid of that 666 off my daggone subscriber list. That was bugging me to death. Well, welcome to the show, Mr. Junior Proctor. How's it going, buddy?
Good. Glad to be here.
Well, I seen the last video. You and your wife went down there and got on y'all some eaters.
Yeah, that's what we was going for. Is some eaters. We fished a tournament down there. And we picked up a few down there, and we thought we'd go catch a few to put in the freezer.
Well, when you decide to go catch eaters instead of hogs, and I know you like catching them hogs, do you change up your tactic? Do you change up your rigs, the way you present your baits? If you do, let us know how you do that.
Well, I definitely go to smaller baits and smaller hooks. And I fish a little shallower water, especially at Wiley up there. You can fish the river up there, and you can load a boat up with, water, excuse me. You can load a boat up there real quick with them small eaters, and the small bait is the main thing on catching them.
I heard Mama back there correct you real quick, did she?
You have to do that. You know how it is when you get old. You have to be like a child. She does it to me quite often.
Do you use different like rigs, or you stick with still the Santee Cooper and Carolina rigs?
Yes, I stick with the same rigs, and a lot of times I shorten leaders up when I'm just fishing for eaters in shallower water. I shorten my leaders up some on that, because some leaders I've got 2 and 3 and 4 foot long. I got different size leaders on all my rods. But when I'm just fishing for, eaters or something like that, then I shorten everything up just a little bit, and use smaller baits. I go to number 8 hook and fillets and just small chunks. Something that you can put some fish in the boat with.
Right. Now, let's talk about bait for eaters and for catfish, period. When you say that you downsizing baits, that don't mean necessarily that you're changing baits. You're just downsizing from what you normally use for big fish, right?
Correct. Correct. Yeah, I'll go to thumb size bait, when I'm fishing for eaters, and the baits that I use is mainly perch and brim. I do use shad. Yeah, I do use brim. Now you're correcting me wrong. But I do use shad some, but mainly perch and brim.
So you just make your fillets a little smaller chunks on your smaller hooks when you do that.
Yeah.
I know we was talking earlier, and you said there's one rig that I absolutely love, and that's free lining.
Free lining, yeah, that's a
You really
good.
got to be a line watcher, right?
You got to be a line watcher. I do some free lining for eaters at Monticello, and you can fill up a 100-quart cooler if you were so intended to up there just free lining. But that's a little different tactic there.
Right.
A lot of people drift free lining, but way I like to do free lining is just troll like you was bass fishing along the riprap and stuff like that at Monticello. And just free line, let the bait sink slow, just small bait too. Just let it sink slow, and they'll hit it just like brim do. They'll just take off with it.
There you go. Jimmy Woodard's in the house tonight. Kentucky Catman said, "What's your favorite bait for the big fish when you're chasing hogs?"
If I've got a 1.5 pound perch, that's 2 pieces of bait for me. And if I've got, a bigger than a hand size brim, that's 2 pieces of bait.
Right.
The bigger the bait, the better. Either that, or I'll just flay one whole side off of one, and just cut the very end of the tail off, and I'll double hook rig it.
Right.
And
bait is really relative to your waters, right?
Yes.
I mean, I know that skipjack might work in our waters. In fact, I know it does because I know a couple guys that's used it down here. But really, would you say that would be prime bait on waters that's not in the water? I would say no.
No, you want to fish with what's there. Fish with what the fish is accustomed of eating. And just like river herring, I do fish with river herring. Sometimes river herring can be real productive, but it's not native into our lakes and stuff like that. And it's a good bait, but I'd still prefer, in my opinion, perch and brim over river herring.
Got you. River herring's a real oily fish too, ain't it?
Yeah, and it's a soft bait too. It ain't as tough as what. And I like tough baits. Something that he has to really work to get it off the hook.
Right. Right. Okay. You want to tell us a little bit about your boat? What you fish out of?
I fish out of a 17.5-foot aluminum craft, and it's mainly set up like a crappie boat or bass boat, and but I fish a lot of times by myself, so I don't need a great big boat. And I mean, it serves my purpose. I can get it in and out of places, and especially down at Par and in different places, it's kind of rough water and rough ramps to get in and out of. I can get in and out there, by myself pretty easy.
You can run that boat up pretty shallow too if you need to, up into the shallows.
I coon hound out of that boat, so I'll put dogs on it, and I'll trim the motor up, and I go where I need to go.
There you go.
And plus, I put them Petey catfish, and he knows about my pods. He's been wanting pods off my boat that I got off Catfish Weekly. He aggravates me about them sometimes, so I put pods.
That's right. I forgot you won them things. How do you like them things on that boat?
Raised the back of my boat at 5 inches, and I love it.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. It's just more stability back there in the back. When you're an old fat man like me, you need all the stability you can in the back.
Backwoods Catawba Backwoods said gizzard shad seems to be the magic for him, but he's having terrible luck with white perch right now. Catawba, don't feel bad. I like perch, but me and perch don't get along. I have trouble finding and searching and getting them caught. Now, if I find them, I can catch them. As long as I don't use orange line. You can ask Dieter about that one. But if I can find them, I can catch them. My problem is finding the cotton picking things.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're after the hogs, I'm gonna say, let's say Lake Monticello. Wampus Cat is really wanting to sit down and discuss and talk. He's never really fished Monticello but one or two times, I think, but he's wanting to learn that lake. And I am too. I'm wanting to go down there with him. I'd like to get up with you one weekend that you're going to Monticello. Maybe we can meet you down there and do some fishing. We'll bring his pontoon and just follow you out there and try to learn a little bit about the lake. He's got a better depth finder than I've got. So white perch is easy to catch but hard to find. You're right, Dieter.
Yeah.
Right. Now, Monticello, you approach it a lot different than, say, Watery, right?
Oh, that's two different lakes right there. It's a deep water lake, Monticello. It's a real deep water lake. A lot of the humps and points and stuff that I fish drop off down to 128 to 130, 40, 50 foot of water. So it's real different. You got a lot of standing timber. You got trees 60 foot tall in there. You got, there's a few places that you can pull baits. There's a few places that I do pull baits, but most of the time I try to mark big fish off of the humps or off them deep points in 60, 70 feet of water and anchor lock on top of them. Once I find my fish, I anchor lock on top of him. I might sit on him 2.5 hours, sometimes 3 hours, but he'll eventually bite. It's been what I've been seeing. I ain't gonna say he'll bite.
So what you're saying is patience, and more.
Patience is the key to Monticello to catch big fish. It really is. You got to have patience and sit there.
Somebody said, just a tip said, I drug sabiki rigs all over Watery and never caught one. He catches them mostly in a cast net.
Yeah.
Now, Watery, I noticed this spring, Mr. Matthew Anthony and quite a few other people was getting on the fish in Watery. But that was up in the river section mainly, right?
Yes, where I was fishing is up in the river section of Watery. Yeah, and all them meters stuff that we was catching was between 14 and 18 feet. But we'd go up there and mark the fish, before we'd even put a line out in the water, where we'd mark several fish up through there. Then we'd turn around and drag back through them.
Gotcha.
So that's the way we're doing it.
Now, I guess Glenn said Monticello can be feast or famine and day to day.
It'll make the best fisherman humble. You can go one day and you can put 25, 30 fish in the boat, and you can go the next day and not get a bite. I mean, that's just the way Monticello is. And every fisherman that's ever tried to fish Monticello pretty hard and pretty heavy will tell you that Monticello will break your heart. It makes you not want to go back and fish there. I'll get so aggravated at it, the next week I'm back there again. So
I think Mr. Dieter Melhorn got his PB blue there, and he actually, last year he tied his PB blue on white with Wiley Big Blue, but Monticello put him, I think, a 62-pound blue out of there. So there are big fish in them waters, ain't there?
Oh yeah, there's big flatheads in them waters too. Buddy of mine on one of my videos on my YouTube channel, you can see where he had, I think it's a 40-pound flathead and a 52-pound blue coming off the same hump, fishing a live bait on one and cut bait on the other. So there's some big flats in there too.
Good. Guys, I need to ask you one question. I noticed on my last show, I went back and watched my feed, and it was cutting in and out real bad. Is it doing that tonight? The reason I'm asking is that we've got 2 weeks to figure out what we're going to do next about bringing guests into our show. We'll still be able to do live shows, but Google Hangouts as of August the 1st will be going away. Rattle Trap Fishing, what's going on, buddy? Appreciate you coming in the cabin with us. So Lyle and myself and a few more are trying to figure out what we're going to do next about bringing guests into our show. So if any of you out there are trying to learn to see what's out there for people to use, please let myself and Lyle know. Feed looks a lot better tonight. Thank you, Dieter. I got these antennas a lot closer. I actually got them laser pointed at each other, so we should be dead on it and having a lot better signal. But I've watched quite a few channels that said that the Google Hangouts, that Google actually they're not troubleshooting the Hangouts any longer because it's going away. Let me take this off. I got a headache. That it's going away. So they're not doing any troubleshooting, fixing, or whatever. So as August the 1st, they will be taking it down. We're trying to figure out exactly what app we can use. I found an app that says StreamYard. I haven't had a chance to do a lot of research on it yet. So if anybody in here has used or heard of StreamYard or dealt with it, please message me or Lyle and let us know how it works or if it's even worth messing with. All right, let's get back to fishing. So do you rely mainly on mapping and stuff like that if you approach new waters?
Yes. Yeah. I also look at it on the computer at the house. Then I'll go down in the garage and pull it up on my boat, and I'll mark places that I want to hit first. From what I've seen on Navionics on the computer, then I just transfer it over to my boat, and that'll be the first places that I look, places that I want to try first.
So what's up, PD? So I guess what I be asking is that, did you hear me? I use some of the ebonics. If somebody really wants to invest in a tool for their fishing, Navionics is probably one of the main things that they need to add, whether they add it to their phone, their computer, or whatever. Navionics is probably the best tool to add.
Yes, yes. Anything that you can put a waypoint that you can save on will help you. You know, if something's got GPS on it, that can get you to that spot or in the area of that spot that you want to fish, you know, that you want to try. And, you know, having good, you know, you ain't got to have the most expensive electronics out there. I mean, because they go, you know, $2, $3, $4, $5,000. I mean, good $600, $700, $800 one, or you can even do, you know, 2D sonar electronics and stuff. It will be good if you can get a mapping system on it, a chart plotter or something like that. That does real well. You know, that helps the fisherman right there.
Right, and it even helps people that do not have boats that bank fish.
Yes. Yep. Because you can look it up on your computer at the house or have it on your phone in the areas, and especially on ledges and stuff like that. Now, grant you, ledges and stuff change, you know, from current and stuff like that. But a lot of times, they're just the basic ledges and stuff, you know, going to be in the same general area. So you'll have a better, you know, opportunity to catch fish if you can, you know, locate these areas on ledges and stuff like that. Because a lot of ledges and your bends and your turns and your creeks or your rivers and stuff like that's going to hold some structure too. You know, so that right there will help a whole lot.
Right, and that Navionics, if you use that and also take notes every season, you know, if you use them in combination, then you'll start learning a pattern that in, say, mid-spring when the crappie's hitting the banks,
Mm-hmm.
avionics show you a long flat where these crappie are going to be running up there bank fishing. I mean, banking to the bank to spawn.
Yeah.
It's a good place to target them catfish also, buddy. So Navionics can really show you them flats. They can show you them areas. And when they head back into the channels and stuff, I always look for places that the channel cuts close to the bank.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of a shelf right there. You can fish the top of that shelf, and you can also put your baits out into the channel themselves.
You know, and Dieter had a good idea. I heard him say something here a while back that there was a phone app or something that you could get that you could keep notes as some kind of fishing app or something. And I hadn't looked into it yet, but it seemed like that was a pretty good deal too, where you can keep records, you know, different times of the year, what the fish are doing and stuff like that, and you can have it from year to year.
I think when Sarah had her show on there, she actually had the people on there that created that. Excuse me, that created that app. Dieter, you're in here tonight. What app was that where you can keep? And actually, there's other fishermen and stuff's in there that gives you a report of the time of their lake and when that what they're catching. Also, has Junior had any luck catching fish by spot locking over standing timber in Monticello? Dieter Melhorn.
I try to stay away from the timber, not unless it's the edges of it. Because when you start getting into the top of the timber, you start getting hung up quite a bit. You know, it's hard to drop a line down in that timber.
Right. Dieter said the app is called Fish Brain.
Yeah. I'm going to investigate. I'm going to look at that too. You know, that's a good. That's a good thing he come up with right there, telling people.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I guess you got to take other people's comments and stuff with a grain of salt because they might be misleading you, saying, we catching them down here, but they catching them up yonder, you know?
Yeah.
They like, get out of my hole, get out of my hole. Oh, but yeah, I looked at that app when she first talked about it. And I guess that's when she was talking about doing that trash tournament. And they was going to help keep up with all the records and stuff as everybody was putting it in, which that was a really good app. They had a lot to it. It really surprised me of how much detail that they put into it for us to be able to keep records of what we catch and see what other people are catching also.
Yeah. But Dieter, on that question Dieter had there a while ago, now you can catch a bunch of eaters, and so you can catch some 20s and some 30s on the top of that timber also. Because, I mean, they'll, you know, a blue, they're traveling fish. You know what I'm saying? They just ain't going to stand. I mean, they're going to move around. They'll be at the top of that timber and stuff too. You can catch a good fish up there occasionally. But most times they're right at the tip tops of that timber. And when you're trying to suspend over that, if you get just a little lines a little long, you're going to be all in the timber. You know, and that's the way that's going to happen, you know.
And you can't uproot them 60-foot trees, can you?
Yeah. Right there's that lake right there is something, you know. It'll hurt your feeling.
It's a very different lake from what I understand. I've never had the opportunity to fish it. I look forward to trying my luck on it.
If you ever go down there and
trying new waters.
Yep. If you ever go down there and have a good day, you'll love it. I mean, if you can go down there and put 7 or 8, 20 or 30 pounders in there in a day's time and, you know, 10 pounders, I mean, that's a good day, but you'll have a whole lot less days going home and not with a bite. You know what I'm saying? So there'll be a whole lot more than what you're catching there, you know.
Well, I mean, that's fishing. So I don't let it hurt my feelings. And if I have a skunk day, then I sit down and I write down what that day had. If it had extremely hot weather, the water was extremely hot, I tried shallow, I tried deep, I marked fish, but the fish wouldn't bite. Keep notes of all that, people, because next time you run into that, you pull out your notes and say, all right, I've done this, so I'm not going to try that this trip. I'm going to try something different.
Well, when they're pulling water at that lake, got current, you can catch some fish. If that water is still and not pulling no current, I mean, because you can sit in the lake, if they're pulling current in your anchor lock. If you're using, let's say, a 3 ounce weight down 50 foot, it's going to pull your rod over 30 degrees. That's why I use 8 ounce weight there. But if they're not pulling current, then the bite's going to be slow. If they're
Gotcha.
pumping water in the lake or out of the lake, to cool the reactors and stuff of the nuclear plant. But as long as the water's moving, you're gonna have a good day, I believe. I always have.
Jeff Manning's in the house, Team Milling the Blues. Jeff, you missed all kind of good stuff.
I think Jeff missed a few good fish down there that's got him broke off in the timber. I think we all have.
He's talking to you, Mr. Manning. He said you broke off some big fish in the timbers down there at Monticello. But let's see. Somebody else had a question. PD said something. He can't wait to grow up and be just like Junior Proctor.
PD, man, you need to get together and fish, boy.
Let's see. Team Milling the Blues. Monticello is a cruel beast. What Jeff's calling it.
He hit the nail on the head.
All right, Dustin Smith's in the house. How many people we got in chat, guys? I can't see the numbers. For some reason, it gives me, I've got 2, what it shows me in chat. What's our numbers in chat, guys?
I'm looking at 30 right now.
At 30? Good number. We appreciate that, everybody. Let's give us a little bit of history. Where's you fishing? You fishing for big catfish and you fishing for catfish all started there, Junior?
Well, me and my wife, we've always, catfish and stuff like that on the boats and stuff that I've had over the years. We always anchored. And we never did really fish for big fish. I moved here to South Carolina, went on a couple of guided trips down to Santee, and I got with a fellow down there by the name of Don Dross at the time. And we put a couple of 40-pound flatheads in the boat, and that kind of gets you hooked when you do something like that, So that's basically where it started, and it just grew. Then I kind of got out of fishing for just a little while because I got into bass fishing and fishing them tournaments and stuff. But I just got tired of throwing 3,000 to 6,000 times a day, so I got burnt out real quick, like. Well, it's going to be hard to get burned out on just dragging baits when you can sit back and drink your water or your coffee or whatever and just watch the lines. That's my kind of fishing there.
Yes, sir. So you really started out throwing baits up around Tennessee area, did you not?
Yeah. I'm from Maryville, Tennessee. It's right there next to about 30 miles south of Knoxville. Around the Fort Loudon, Tellico area. Actually, in a little town called Greenback is where it's at, little bitty town, little old caution light in there. We was probably 20 minutes from 3 lakes, 20, 25 minutes from 3 different lakes right there, Tellico, Chihai, and Fort Loudon. And Watts Bar wasn't 25 minutes or so, 25, 30 minutes.
Ain't right. You had some big fish territory all around you, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but didn't fish for them then when you're young like that.
Right.
I've been here a long time now. I done about forgot all about all that up there.
Would you prefer fishing lakes or rivers?
I'm a lake fisherman, but I'm upper like on Murray. I don't fish the big waters at Murray or any of that. I fish the river parts at Murray, where it starts coming into the lake part. I fish the Little Saluda River and the Big Saluda, and which I kind of like lakes, in my opinion, better, for me, because it's what I'm accustomed to. I feel more comfortable fishing lakes. Now, when I go down to Santee, if I fish the upper lake, probably most of the time, which I'm going to have to start learning to fish the lower lake, because that's what it look like where everybody's catching some good fish right now. But
right.
I like fishing the river part in the lakes, the ledges and stuff like that, and around, especially where there's stumps and stuff real close to the ledges and stuff. Because I'll put the boards on one side of the boat right up in the timber on the ledges, and then couple of my boards off into deeper water than the ones dragging out the back of the boat right on the ledges.
So you'd prefer to drag baits than set and drop an anchor or using your anchor lock,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's times that you need to anchor, that when you're getting desperate or anchor lock or something like that. But I'm not going to anchor lock over a fish that's less than 30 feet deep. He's got to be deeper than that for me to anchor lock over him to suspend on.
Gotcha.
There's a few places that I'll anchor and broadcast baits and stuff like that. I just got, ever since I, several years ago was learning the Santee style rig, when I moved down here, everybody kept talking about the Santee style rig. So I started learning it, and I like it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go try to find a fish that's going to bite.
Yeah. First time I ever used it, we used to go down and use a guide, Earl, out of Harry's, the heart of the Santee. His name was Earl. It used to be, he was actually a game warden for like 30, 35, 40 years down there. Little bitty guy with thick glasses, mean a striped snake. But we used to use him a lot. He was a good guy. I liked him for one reason. He took out one cooler. Once the cooler had the fish, you fish in it, and it was full, your fishing trip was over unless you was going to throw them all back.
Yeah.
Fish for y'all guys to eat, there's no use wasting them. I like that. I like the way he was thinking. Let's don't put 5, 6 coolers in there and get fish we can catch, knowing that they're going to go to waste.
That's right. Well, if you look at all of my videos, 99.9% of the time, every fish I catch go back. Now, when me and my wife want eaters, we'll go catch some eaters. Or if somebody's fishing with me, they want 1 or 2 fish to take home, then we do that. But I throw everything back. People say, why do I go fish if I just throw them all back? Because I enjoy it. I mean, it's relaxing.
Yeah. Dieter said he bets Junior knows where Blue Springs is on Watts Bar.
Dieter, it's been 30 years since I've been there. So it's I'd have to think about it. It's probably probably north of the hot water, where the hot water comes out of the plant right there, I think. But I may be wrong on that.
Jeff said he's getting all the parts together for his jet boat he's building. Look out.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see Jeff in the jet boat.
Yeah. I got a feeling I got a couple spots I'm thinking that he's getting ready to run up in and get to some big cotton picking fish, some waters that are tough to get to.
Buddy of mine just caught 72.
Pretty easy on Wiley and other places, but you can't get to them now.
Well, I got a place for him to take that jet boat. Buddy of mine caught a 72-pound blue in there and down at Par Reservoir down there here, I don't know, 3 weeks ago or so. And that'd be a good place for him to try that jet boat out. He with no prop down there on that.
There you go.
You take a prop boat down there, you better idle.
You're going to knock the blades off of it once you tear the foot off your boat.
Yeah, till you get over into the river.
You
sure it's as bad as Santee, if not worse.
Dang right. There was another question I was wanting to ask you, and I done had a brain fart. Now when you say if you're gonna go fish a tournament on new waters, lakes you've never fished before. I know you just said you use navionics and you're going to study the map of the lake and stuff like that. Pull out on that water, do you ever, I guess what I'm asking, do you ever really rely on that old fishing instinct where you look at landmarks, lay of the land, just to kind of reaffirm what you've been seeing on that navionics?
Yes, you have to. Because everything changes. If there's steep banks and stuff like that where you kind of look at the land, and see, and especially, when you start looking at your navionics, everything's not perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's man-made. So, you might get there and it might be 200 or 300 yards off. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't never run into that, but I ain't never saying it can't happen. So,
Right.
Yeah, you want to look at that, and I like being places where it's a little more secluded, like where there ain't many houses and stuff. But some of the places that we fish, there's a house on, every 50 foot apart. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But especially when there's, these days and time, it's hard to find places that there ain't a lot of boat traffic. It really is. But I do try to look at the lay of the land and stuff like that and see if I can help me compare it with my Navionics. But normally, whenever I look at a place on my Navionics and stuff, is I stick to my game plan. You see what I'm
Yes.
saying? When I go,
Yes.
because you never know,
Maurice is in the house. Appreciate you coming in, Maurice. I did put a call in today about that cutting board. Maurice won a cutting board on Catfish Weekly. He said he don't have a boat, so he donated it. I've got to pick it up from Chris at Shad Shack. He donated it as one of the giveaways. Actually, we're going to raffle it off at the Catfish tournament next year. So I'm going to put it in there. That's going to be one of the prizes that'll raffle off so we can raise a little bit more money for them guys over at the Honor Guard. We appreciate that, Maurice. We do. There was something else. I thought I seen a question in here. City's in here, just posted patriotic bass fishing. So do you fish? I noticed you got, tell us a little bit about your tournament that you got up. And I know I don't really discuss tournaments on this channel, on this page, but because a lot of times I got bombarded, especially out my Facebook page. I first started opening it up for everybody, but then we got tons of tournaments across the country, and that's my page turned into a big advertisement. I don't really want to do that. But you do good things with your tournament, and that's something that you really promoted locally or whatever. So I'd like to give you the opportunity to discuss a little bit of it if you want to.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing this, but there's been several people come up to me and ask me because I helped put on a couple of benefit tournaments for a little young man named Tyler Hill had leukemia, and they turned out with some pretty good tournaments. And I had some guys come up to me and keep asking me, when am I going to have some more? And it's just hard for one person to do it. So, buddy of mine that fishes with me in the tournaments, he's part of the Blue Dog team with Doug Bowers. Him and David Kingsmore, we got together and decided we was going to form it. And this was the first year of it, and which it's a learning process this first year. And
yes, sir, it is.
It's a headache too. And I have a lot of respect for the boys at Southeastern and all these other boys that put on these tournaments. It's a headache, boy, but it's a lot of fun too. And we've had a lot of support, and it's growing. And it's called Mid Carolina Catfish Club. And our last tournament of the season is August 10th, and it's going to be on that dreaded Lake Monticello. And that's a good place to have. It's going to be a little bit bigger money tournament. It's going to be a $200 entry fee, but if you can fish that lake and win that tournament on that lake, a money tournament, that's going to separate a lot of the fishermen right there. That's we figured the last tournament of the year we're going to swap it from year to year, from lake to lake, where that last tournament's going to be, but it'll probably be always a $200 tournament on the payout on that. Entry fee on that. And but we didn't get the first year as we just had to try to get something going. Okay, well, we got it going now, so this next year we're going to end up having Wiley in it, and of course Watery. We'll have one tournament at Parr and a couple of tournaments at Monticello and one at Clark Seal. So we're going to spread out throughout the state. We're going to have two at Santee. So we're going to try to hit a lot of the lakes around the state. We was just hitting just a middle part of the state, and but we're going to try to grow it, where people can fish, other lakes and stuff like that. And the southeast boys coming fishing with us too, so that's been helping too. And we'll be going fishing theirs.
Is all your tournaments going to be like benefit tournaments?
No, these right here are all club tournaments. This past year we're having 12 tournaments a year, but this first year we didn't. We had 10, but we throwed in 2 tournaments that wasn't club tournaments, and they done pretty good. But then we started having people coming that thought it was an open tournament, to the pub, that anybody can fish. Well, anybody can fish if you don't pay the membership. That's no problem. But then they wouldn't want to pay the membership. They thought it was open. I mean, there's a few problems, along that. So we decided we was going to keep everything as a membership tournament this second year.
Gotcha.
We're going to have one night tournament at Watery this year, and it's going to be in July. It'll be a night tournament.
Gotcha.
Because a couple of people have been asking that. I ain't big on night tournaments. I may not fish that one, but I'll be there. I'm getting to be old, and it's just hard to stay up, fish all night long.
Oh, we used to fish in 24-hour tournaments, buddy. I had to make
I'm Iron Man no
this
more.
morning. Woo! That's a long 24 hours, buddy.
Yeah.
24 hours. I think the last one I fished, bud, about 16, 17 hours into the tournament, we had a freaking storm to come up, and everybody was looking for daggone bridges, empty boathouses, everything, lightning popping. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Lyle said he's already got a bid of $50 on the cutting board right now. You're away, but I appreciate the bid that starts at $50, guys. Woo! And I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to start a PayPal account for the tournament because I've already got one. James Burkrod, he's done donated to the tournament. And so that's what I think I'm going to do is either raffle it off or we might do an auction and see what we can do. However I can do it to raise the most amount of money for these guys that in the honor guard. They do a great service for our fallen soldiers and vets. These guys are getting older, guys, and if you're a veteran out there, they're looking for guys to step up. Because he told me, I talked to him last week. He said, James, we're getting older. He said, who's going to be there to give us our last rites? And it broke my heart because have we done got so fast in this world, even our veterans, that they can't step up and say, look, I got you covered, buddy. I'll be there for you. So if any of you veterans out here, I guess I'm trying to put you on a guilt trip. Go talk to your local honor guard guys and ask them what you can do. They understand that you might not can make every funeral, but these guys need a break. Most of them are Korean War veterans and Gaston County Honor Guard. I don't know about any of the others. They've actually got 2 guys in there that are actually World War II veterans. They'll go stand out there in the heat and the cold, the snow, the rain, and give them last rites. So that's why it was very dear to my heart to do this tournament for them. And the future tournaments will be for them also. Didn't mean to get off on that, but guys, I just wanted to kind of throw that up. I talked to him last week, and it just it broke my heart, and I figured what better place to bring it up than y'all guys. Because I know each and every one of you do appreciate what they do. You do our veterans and thank them. And that means a lot to me. Time to go. Okay. Anything else you want to bring up, Junior?
If anybody
tell some of these guys about some different techniques Do you ever use? I watched old Chris Souter's video, and he was talking about using the Kentucky rig and a couple of other different rigs. Do you ever see in your type of fishing where you would use a rig like that?
Only when I was anchored in a river or something like that, fishing structure, I would use rigs like he uses. I did see that video that he was using. Uh, my Santee rig that I use sinker slides on mine, and when I go to suspend, I just take my dragon weights off and put uh, my bank sinkers on there, to suspend with. The
Right.
rig that I use is kind of versatile. I don't anchor much as far as casting out, so I don't worry about my baits floating up through my sinker slide as much, because I don't do that as often. I'm mainly a suspend over fish or drag, and that's a real convenient and real easy um, system that I use on that Santee rig. Now here the last 2 or 3 months, I've been using some of the Demon Dragon type products, and I've been going to that. And I've been using half my rods on that and half just with your peg floats, like we normally
Right.
do with. And I like the split peg float. I don't like because I like to be able to take my floats off and on without cutting the lines and stuff like that, especially
Right.
when I go to spin.
Right.
But I have rigged up some of my Demon Dragon type products and stuff with hooks on the back of them with a swivel instead of having that extra knot.
Yeah, I don't like the astronaut. I do like
Yeah.
to run the line through the eye and right out the other side if I want it to where I can adjust it up and down the line. I don't like tying just too.
Well, I did come up with a system where it just was one knot on that, similar like what Dieter and them runs without using the tape. And that's just run it through the first eye, then run it through the middle eye and get you enough string out to run it back through it twice, then go through your last eye. That way you can adjust it, loosen that little loop up, and you can adjust it up and down the string a little bit, whatever you needed. But don't tie a knot there. Just run it, just loop it through it twice
Right.
and go on, and it stays where it needs to be. I've done that, and but I just got to where I put the hooks on swivels on the back of it, and they've been working pretty good.
Yeah.
I can't tell you that it catches more fish than the others because it's been about even so far than what the peg floats are, but they've been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
You know?
I like them. Yeah, they get expensive when you start losing them in the bottom of the lakes. It's
Yeah.
I mean, I do think that the rattle does help. I'm kind of like Lyle was talking about on one of the shows. He don't really know out there in the big rivers if it really makes that much difference because I'm sure down there it's probably real noisy in that current.
Yeah. Well, I think if you're dragging baits, it's you because your weights is hitting the bottom anyway, and of course it's
Right.
going to cross the line and everything else to move. They're just getting snagged and going back and forth, and it's got to rattle. I mean, it's got to rattle some, and I think if it's on a slow day, that the rattle probably does do better than anything. If it may cause one to bite on a slow
Right.
day, So I think
I guess what I always kind of look at it is it helps with the reaction bite.
Yeah.
Well, they might come up to just to sniff it, to taste it or whatever, and hear that rattle. In their mind, it might say something else is trying to get it, and that might make them bite down on it harder.
Yeah.
Who knows? I guess any tool in our tackle box that actually can help with that reaction bite is a plus.
Yeah. But like I say, you can look at that last video I put out. I really couldn't see a whole lot of difference, between the Corks and the Demon Dragon, type products. I'm just saying I use 2 or 3 different types of this. I just know that's the Demon type product.
Right.
It's been the longest, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I couldn't notice a difference then because the bite was strong, you know what I'm saying? Because I was catching on both of them. But I'm sure that if the bite was slow, that would have helped improve the bite.
And you're right, Roger. They are more durable than a foam float. Them old catfish will tear them old foam floats all to pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
They will destroy them. That's for sure.
Yeah, but you know, I can buy a hundred in a bag of them peg floats, you know, for the price that I could buy 3 bags of the Demon Dragons. You see what
Well,
I'm
that's
saying?
true. Yep,
What
that's true.
it lasts me a
But I
whole
mean,
lot more.
and I've used the line rattle since I've been back catfishing. I like them little line rattles. They're handy. They make a lot of noise too. I mean, and if you want a little extra noise, you can put a bead in between and put 2 on your line, and they'll spin opposite of each other with that bead in between it. Demon Dragon has caught 85% of the trophy fish. That's T-Med said 85% of his trophy fish come with using Demon Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, and there's things that's happened over the years that's changed catfishing. Is the Demon Dragons a game changer? Maybe. I think the Santee rig was being used for probably 40, 50 years down there at Santee Cooper, way before most of the country ever heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
These guys have done figured in them stump fields down there, they needed to get them baits up off the bottom.
They figured it out.
Yes, sir. And that comes with trial and error.
Yep.
That
Yeah,
comes with cussing and jerking and breaking and
yep. I'm not knocking nobody's products by no means. If it can help them catch fish, use them, you know. And if you've got confidence, the main thing is confidence. You got to have confidence. You know, I got confidence in the bait I use, whether it's brim or perch, you know.
yes.
And if it's shad, then I'll use shad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you got to have confidence in everything that you do. You know, get it in your mind when you're going to go out there, you're going to go out there and try to catch fish. You know, that's just what you got to do.
A buddy of mine's getting ready to start fishing Mountain Island Lake. He's got a tournament, I think, at the end of next month. He likes Mountain Island Lake. Me and that lake has a love-hate relationship. You know, about like what you talk about Monticello. You can go up there and do real good one day. Next day, you could swear up down there ain't a fish in the cotton picking lake. Have you ever fished that lake?
No, I haven't fished that lake. No, I don't even know where that lake's even at.
It's in between Lake Wiley and Big Lake of Norman. It's the one in between the two. It's a nice lake. It don't have a lot of houses and stuff on it, so it's real nice. It's a waterwork lake for Gaston County, and I guess Mecklenburg gets some of their water from it too. But it's a real good, it's a pretty clean lake and not a lot of homes on it.
Yeah.
So it's a good place to kick back and kind of relax. You don't have, you know, like, especially like during the week, you go out there during the week and you might not see 1 or 2 boats out there running around.
Well, one thing about Monticello, you might have 1 or 2 pleasure boaters every now and then, but you ain't gonna see nobody swimming, skiing, or nothing like that out there. It's a fishery, you know. So that's a little different. Time you go to, you know, Water or Wiley or Murray, especially Murray. Murray's eat up with boats. I mean, you can't hardly fish in the upper, you know, at the river ends of the lake that, you know, like I do for the boat traffic. But you won't have that on Monticello. Parking lots might be full, but you may not see but 1 or 2 boats out there.
Right. That's what I heard. Monticello don't let them skiing and swimming and all that stuff down there, do they?
No, they pull so much current and stuff. You know.
Oh yeah.
Particular plant down there, I think that has a lot to do with
it. Somebody says T-Man said he buys the blank off eBay for the, I guess, the Demon Dragons. Keep having guard trying to bite. Antique Catfisher said he keeps trying to bite his bright yellow peg floats. Said he comes back with teeth marks all over his yellow peg floats. Yeah, that's got one little question. I've got a favorite color that I like that I use at night. I use in muddy water, very dingy water for peg floats, for demon dragons, for lures. Back when I bass fished in the tournament trail, a lot of people said I was crazy because I would break out a can of paint real quick and paint them solid black. People don't understand what black does in dark water, what black does in dingy and muddy water. It casts a shadow. At night, if you think about it, the fish, especially like flatheads, they're looking up. Bass are looking for surface baits at night and stuff like that. Any other color kind of absorbs that light. That black will cast a shadow, a silhouette. It's very easy to be seen in muddy water and stuff. So that's my little hint of the night.
That's the tip of the week.
That's the tip of the week. Favorite base that I've used around Wiley, and I've had my reels ripped to the knot and lose ever strip a line on that cotton picking thing is a little bitty black flick tail at night. I've had catfish. My biggest channel cat ever come on Lake Wiley, 16-pound channel, come on a little black flick tail with 6-pound line on a micro light. Now that will run me up and down the bank for 30 freaking minutes. But a 16-pound channel on a little bitty black flick tail. So
they was over here on Murray when the crappies just hitting good over there. There's a boy on a 12-foot crappie rod, put a 62-pound blue in a boat that he fought for like 2 hours.
Oh,
on a 6-pound test line.
But I want to do that. I really do. I want to chase a line record. I've always wanted to do that. I know it really takes probably an expensive rod for one thing, a rod that's got the backbone, but yet flimsy enough to allow that light line to spool off without the yanking and you know what I'm saying? My concern is, and you can maybe tell me or let me know, is will that fish survive that kind of fight for that length of time?
I don't think this one did because I actually seen it on Facebook, but it's shared through some friends of mine at a boat landing that we had one of our tournaments out of. And I seen the fish land on the tailgate of the truck. And, you know, which I know that if fish land on tailgate truck, that fish didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? And I would think the fish would survive. I don't know that I would have got the fish out of the water. I probably tried to get the hook out of him while he was still in the water and just let him go on, you know.
Right.
Because you know them crappie fish, they ain't going to have no nets. It's hard to tell them how they got him in the boat.
No.
They ain't going to have what we use.
Yeah, I mean, I always wondered about that. I mean, everybody said, well, watch that bass fisherman. He don't even fight that fish. He reels it in, throws it on the boat real quick and gets it over and done with. You know, yeah, that's true. He don't fighting it, but that's tournaments also. You know, you watch them in tournaments and they're trying to get them in, get to that next fish. I think that could also be a good thing because, well, I mean, it's one thing, it's aggravating. I've heard a lot of people say, wear that fish out before you bring it in the boat. It's hard to handle a green fish. Well, it is. That green fish will bite the dog out of you. He'll smack you, fight you, twist and turn your boat upside down, knock every freaking thing over. But all goes back kicking like that.
Yep.
You know, so what do you do? You know, I do have a rod. It's an 8-foot rod. It's one of my bass rods. It's actually a medium heavy bass rod, and I got my reel spool with 20-pound braid just for that. And most of the time, what I'm doing is free lining big baits with it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to catch something on it. I want to catch a big fish on that rod and reel. But I got a feeling if I feel that it gets to a 30-minute fight, I'm probably going to let the fish go. I'm probably cut him loose before I ever get to see him because I don't want to kill that fish. I went fishing the other day, Junior, and I come across right below the South Fork River, and there was probably a 50-plus pound blue floating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without a mark on him. So he wasn't hit by a boat or something like that. And I figured he was either hound wrong or a long fight or what. I mean, you don't know. I mean, you really don't know.
Maybe that or died in live or something.
Yeah. So, and it breaks my heart to see a trophy fish like that floating. But I mean, it could have been natural causes. He could have been 50-year-old and older than dirt. You know, you don't know. Still broke my heart. But my day sucked the other day. Went down there, didn't really have much bait. No bait, really. Caught me a couple brim. Gonna catch perch. Me and them perch didn't get along. But guess what? My sabiki rig was wearing a little bitty catfish out. I'm talking about 2, 3, 4, 6 inches was the biggest catfish I caught. I was catching them 2 and 3 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I went. It was like Lake Wiley was just overrun with little tiny catfish. So we must have had a good spawn this year out of Lake Wiley.
Yeah, Lake Monticello's plumb full of them. If you go up there perch fishing with minnows or worms or something like that, you might as well be prepared to be taking off a lot of catfish.
Well, and like you said, if you're going after eaters, that's my favorite. Them little old fish about that long. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, they'll wear you out cleaning them little bitty son of a guns. But there's nothing better than a plate full of bones after eating all them little bitty ones. Ah, dog.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's just a fishing fetish in the house, guys. I appreciate you coming in. He said he just got off work. Well, Junior, I appreciate you coming in tonight.
Oh, yeah, brother. Anytime.
Well, I had a good time. I hope you enjoyed it too. And I heard everybody's question that come in. When is your next hog calling trip coming up?
I'm gonna try to go. I'm gonna go Saturday. I'm gonna go to Monticello. I'm gonna fish it a little bit before I get there in that tournament August 10th. So I'm gonna go see if I can put no biggin in the boat Saturday. That's all. So you're
gonna be dropping big baits in the water, are you?
Yep. They're gonna be big. 10-aught hooks, 8 ounces of weight. We going deep.
What kind of hook you use? So nobody asked that question. Usually that question gets asked real quick.
10-aught circle hooks, octopus circle hooks. Now, that's where I'm a little different. I go on eBay and places, and I'll buy them for 100 at a time. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And a whole lot cheaper, $15-20, and I ain't had one break yet.
Mono or braid?
Mono. Berkeley Pro Spec, 30 pounds. And I use Big Game 50 liters.
Right. That's what I use. What reels do you use?
Cash King 50s and 60s, the Rover series.
Okay.
Yep.
I haven't thrown any of them. I think Richard said he's going to get a couple to try out, see how they do. He had one of his Abu 6500s. The body actually broke loose from the reel seat. I'm sorry, I got tongue tied. Mm-hmm. The reel seat broke and popped loose on him, and it aggravated him. And I said, I'll take it up there to Bass Shack. Anyway, either get it welded or just change and have a new body put on it. But I bought me 2 of the old 6500s, the older 6500Cs.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to looking, and there's a big difference in the amount of weld on the old ones and on the new ones.
Yeah.
A big difference.
I've probably had these reels probably about 9 months now, and I ain't had a bit of problem out of them. The Cash King Rover 50s, so now all my reels are left-handed because I reel left-handed.
Okay.
So, but there ain't no price difference in them. They ain't but $48.
Oh, I hear you.
And they are.
I get mine at the dadgum pawn shops. We got tons of pawn shops and car places around here, which you know. and you can get them 6500s and you can get them rebuilt all day long, you know, pretty cheap. I bought me 2 new reels to put on my James Burke rods when, you know, I got one coming. It should be here any time. I can't wait to show it off. Antique Catfishing is asking a little bit about the YouTube tournament. He's saying if we do not reach 1,000 subs to be able to go live, will you still be able to fish? Yes. Antique Catfishing, you will still be able to fish. What's up, New School's in the house tonight? Just come in. He's probably getting ready to go to work. Antique Catfishing, yes, you will still be able to fish. I got a guy that helped me with this last tournament. That is his deal. He is TV, news, whatever, guru. He's trying to work on a way that all channels will be able to go live and it will funnel through my channel. So that, and I still haven't reached 1,000 either, guys. That we all got to push for that. But he is trying to figure out a way, even if we don't hit the 1,000 mark, that we can still go live, but everything will be funneled through my channel. So everybody, instead of trying to search YouTube for each fisherman, they can sign on to my channel and watch the whole day, the whole tournament from the get-go to the weigh-in.
Yeah.
So, yes, come on down, fish. I'll be going over a little bit. I've figured around fall. I've got a lot of more details ironing out right now. What else we're going to do? With that being said, I'll go over all that at a later time, guys.
I'll be there.
So, with that being said, Mr. Proctor, I enjoyed it tonight.
Well, I did too.
Coming in.
Oh yeah, anytime. And if there's anything I can do for you on your tournament or anything, you just let me know.
Yep. I'm sure that I'll be hollering at you. You got some experience with tournaments, and Richard Warskow was a big help. This was my first tournament ever putting on, and it'd been over 30 years since I'd even fished a tournament. Things changed up a whole lot, so, you know, I bit off more than I could chew without some help. I don't think I could have got it done, but, you know, we would have whittled through it some way, somehow. But we got surprises for the next one coming up that it's going to go off with a bang. I'll just say that.
Don't forget now, Dieter used to be a tournament director too.
Yeah. Dieter was he was there. He put Big Nasty on a big old fish. But yeah, Dieter takes some good videos and stuff. And we're gonna put him to work at this next one. You know, I hope he can be there. You never know with Dieter's work schedule. He's liable to come up, and NASCAR liable to send him to Daytona for that weekend.
No, they ain't no telling where he'll be.
No, there ain't no telling. So I really hope he can be. And I hope everybody that's in here. You know, I want the biggest turnout that we can get to raise as much money for them guys at the Honor Guard as we can do. But I want the camaraderie of everybody shaking hands, put a name to the face. That's, you know, a lot of us has got to know each other through videos and live feeds and stuff like that. But when you can reach out and shake that man's hand, I think everybody that come to this tournament said that they love that more than anything, that they've made lifelong friends, and they can't wait for the next one. So, with that being said, guys, thank you, Junior. Thank each and every one of you for being in there tonight, supporting us. Make sure you go to each other's channels and share the love. Check out Junior Proctor's channel. Puts up some great videos. Loves them dogs. Loves his wife and his family. Check him out. That being said, God bless America. God bless each and every one of you. And we'll see you on the water. Say bye, y'all.
Later, bud.
Take care, Junior.
You too.